All right, pleasant good morning. John Walk, Dan Morgan, Lone Star Christian Sports Network. We're here at the 2024 Tappscon at the Base Event Center in Waco, and we're joined by one of our inaugural class members of the Texas Private School Sports Hall of Fame, girls basketball coach at Bishop Lynch, Andy Zihlman. Andy, it's great to see you.
Great to see you guys. Thank you for having me.
It's always a treat. It's a pleasure. We did this 3 years ago down in San Antonio. It's time to catch up a little bit. And no, I mean, we were talking a little bit before we, kind of set this up. I mean, we would be, if we did this and we did not include, the winningest basketball coach in private school history, we'd be illegitimate right off the bat. So, just a great career you've had. And, I've been fortunate enough to see about 30 years of it. And, you've had a lot more even than that. But
yes, thank you very much. I've been blessed, very blessed.
Talk about this last season. You had, after India, went on and that. And
yeah, this is, we knew going into it would be a little bit of a challenge in that, but at the same time, a good opportunity for us. We had some pretty good talent coming back, but your talent is always led by the strength of your leaders in your senior class, and I was kind of concerned about that. But they came around when they needed to, and we had a couple of heart-to-hearts and visits about what was needed to reach the highest level and get along, and they actually agreed, and we moved on and were able to accomplish not just our goal of winning the state championship, but learning how to deal with each other and treat each other. And it wasn't anything horrible, but our expectations are so high on how we expect everybody to be treated, both on the team and with our opponents and so forth. So I'm proud of that as much as being able to win. So, and ultimately that's what your goal is as a Catholic or private school educator is developing young people so that they can move on in their lives and learn something from their experiences with you. I was blessed to have one of my senior girls who transferred here last year, and she was in a wrong way, and she sent me a text. She came up to see us get her state ring because she missed our presentation, and she goes, "It was so good to see you." I said, "I just want to let you know your program changed my life." And so when you hear that, from a young 18-year-old girl who just hearing about some of her background in her earlier days in junior high and early high school, that maybe you've accomplished something, and that's ultimately the bottom line. It really is trying to develop young people and to know what hopefully they know that why they're at Bishop Lynch is to love and serve the Lord, and to be able to treat each other with dignity and respect, no matter what the differences may be.
And you share that, Andy, and we're seeing, so you talk about a transfer, and of course, transfers sets off the fireworks, especially with what you've got going on up in your area right now, with some high-profile public school kids transferring to a program.
Right.
But I think if they heard that, that might not be happening in that case that we see right now, but I think a lot of people don't hear that enough, that you're able to affect a life because for whatever reason, safety, family, whatever, to get into an environment that betters them as a human being.
Well, and that's bottom line. I've from day one, I was privileged to go to Catholic schools all my life, including Bishop Lynch, and I learned from not just from that, but also from my parents, to raise us how to treat everybody with dignity and respect, and know to love the Lord and how to serve Him. And none of us are perfect, and we make mistakes, but also knows to get His mercy and His grace by always trying to do the right thing and do for others. And so, through our program, we do a lot of service work, and that's something that's requirement of the school, but something that we do is a little extra too. And the kids love it. We do a thing at Christmas time. It's with Santa Clara, when it's through the Catholic Charities in the Dallas area that they gather all these Christmas gifts for young needy kids, and we go over and help put them together and distribute them. They come by in like a carpool line, and our kids are able to come out there and present it to them. And I'm out there with my camera, taking and just seeing the faces of my kids light up to see these young 8, 9, 10-year-old kids so excited to receive a Christmas gift and to receive it from a high school kid. And it's just heartwarming to me. So yeah, it's more than the game, you know. Yeah, it's all about developing young people and knowing that how to serve others, and hopefully, you know, that's something that at least that's one thing I hope they take away from, besides being able to enjoy the game of basketball and winning and all that, but also the relationships. I think what's probably more special to me is when I hear these stories and people come back to me and thank me. And I had a young lady from the class of 2001 reached out to me and wanted to come to the game. She lives in the Fort Worth area now, but so she says, "I want to tell you," he says, "you were one badass coach." And I said, "Really?" I said, "I never thought." He goes, "Yeah, but," it says, "you made me the kind of person I am to learn to stand up for myself and learn to be accountable." And so they know my big thing is accountability. You know, I can listen to anything, but we're all going to be accountable, including me. So, so it's, to me, it's all about that kind of development. And so that's why I still enjoy being a part of it and helping to shape young minds. And I enjoy the banter I have with some of them are really funny. Some of my sophomore girls that play JV and freshmen. They I guess as you get older, they I don't know. It's just fun because they'll come up to me and say, "Hey, old man, have you had your nap and your medication yet?" And I said, "No, so leave me alone." But you know, I've dated myself because I had a senior girl on my team this year. I coached her grandfather in my first years at Bishop Lynch in football and track. And so, yeah, and then I find out that most of my senior girls, their grandparents are younger than me. So to me, that's kind of special. My wife says I need to quit telling that story, but to me, it's kind of special to see that, you know, we're doing, you know, second generations and, you know, so forth. Anyway, it's important to me.
I haven't heard the story of when I was doing a little digging for your slide that this 0-21 in your first year of coaching freshman boys.
Yeah, that was quite. It was my first year, and so I was freshman boys coach. I coached football too, and ended up coaching track too. You know, that you do everything.
Sure. Yeah.
When at that age, you're excited to do that. And, I mean, I didn't know anything about. I didn't even play basketball in high school. I did in junior high, so I was kind of learning. In fact, my AD, who was the head basketball coach, he wouldn't even come out and help me. So I had to reach out to my friends who played the game and say, "Hey, I need to know how to run an offense and how to set up a practice, even, you know." And so some of them would come in and help me, and a lot of times we couldn't even practice in the gym. We only had one gym at the time, so we go outside to the outdoor courts or at the parks. You know, they'd be in coats and practice. And so we'd go, sometimes we got to go down to the Fair Park, to the automobile building, and practice in some of those courts occasionally. But, yeah, we did win one game. It was really a scrimmage against an 8th grade team, but we had to come from behind to do that. So I was, you know, I laugh about with those kids who are on that team whose kids have now gone through BL. It's kind of funny. But, yeah, I was not very good at but it kind of humbles you, and it kind of teaches you if you're going to be involved in something, you can't give up. And so you get to work by learning from others. And, you know, that's why I go to the TABC clinic and this clinic every year. And I try to go to the national WBCA clinic. Probably don't do that every year, but at least every couple of years I'd like to. I was on a committee there for a while, and so I enjoyed that, being able to meet with other coaches. In fact, there's a coach from Florida over here selling score tables and jumbotrons, and so we met in the women's Final Four is in Tampa next year. So that's the place I always like to go to see that. But anyway,
you were sharing with me a little bit earlier that you know, just some changes going on at Lynch, and I don't are they out official or?
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so Allie Tennyson, your athletic director, is I think heading to school in Tennessee.
Right, all-girls school in Tennessee, and they'll be a little bit closer to her husband's parents, who I think live in South Carolina. I see Allie at some point being in college as an athletic director, or, you know, I think she just wanted, you know, when she went to Ursuline and played at Ursuline, coached at Ursuline, and her goal was to get into athletic administration. And I remember when we had an opening, I reached out to our president, Chris Rebuck. I said, "Hey, we need to reach out to Allie, to see about coming here, and so that worked out. But she's, she's moving, and I think she's excited about that, and I'm sure her husband is too, getting closer where he's from.
Right.
But yeah, our new AD is he's. I was on a committee, subcommittee, and really like him a lot. And he's here today, which I'm excited to know. And he's doing all the right things. And young guy, has a young family. And so anyway, I think he will fit in well. And he just reached out to me a few minutes ago. And he said, I need to pick your brain. I said, absolutely. I'm here to help in any way I can. Not to tell you what to do, but I can help you with the lay of the land here, and as well as with taps. And so, yeah, I went through that all day yesterday. Yeah, that can get inundating, I'm sure. But
well, who is it? Can you tell us a little bit about him?
His name is Alex, and forgive me, I forget his last name. I think it's Cardello, or anyway, I'm sorry, I forget his last name.
That's okay.
But anyway, he's from Miami, Florida, and worked at several schools there. He's got a lot of background in psychology and also in coach. He coached football, played football, and been an athletic director. So he has the background and experience and a couple other things that I know I'm forgetting. But so I know our administration was excited about. He moved to Dallas already because his wife got a really great job with AT&T in Dallas. So he started looking for coaching jobs or AD jobs, and he, being Catholic himself, he saw this opportunity, and so anyway, so it worked out for both parts. So excited to start working with him, and anyway, he seems like a really sharp guy too.
All right, so we threw this at you 3 years ago, and we'll close with this. When is it's going to be? They're looking for a new girls basketball coach.
Well, it's honestly it's year by year, because part of me I still enjoy it. I know.
I mean, I saw you, at the semifinal game this year.
And it's as long as I'm still healthy, and my family don't want me to retire. I said there's going to be someday, and especially my middle daughter, and my wife is, she says it's up to you, and so I've got a pretty good situation. Chris Rebuck, our president, has been very good to me. Mm-hmm. Basically, all I have to do is coach. If I don't have to be up there till 2:00 when practice starts, but I'm usually there by 8:30 because I like to check on the kids, make sure they're eating lunch, make sure they're doing all right, and other things I need to do too. Some of that stuff I can do from home, but so for the day I want to stay in, and so anyway, I usually Wednesdays and Fridays we have an early Bible study with our former track coach. I like to go to that, and we have mass right after that, so I like to do that. And so there's things I like to be involved with at school, and then the other time I walk around and harass people, which you can do I guess at my age and longevity I've had there. But I've been blessed to be at such a place, and and I've had people ask me, they said, "You've been at one place for all this time," and I said, "Yeah, I know there's not many." I said, "Some people look at it as a negative, but I look at it as a positive because I've had opportunities, but." The bottom line, as I shared before, is the most important thing being where I am. I can share my faith, with our team, and they with me too. And we pray after every game, not every game, but after every practice, and they lead the prayer, which I love. It's just, from their heart, and we ask for any special intentions, and I love that, to see that my grandma's not doing well, or please pray for mom, she's trying to get this job, and so just to open up to say, this is not just about basketball, this is all about us helping each other as a family, and so anyway, so we'll take it year by year until they say.
We're not trying to push you out. But it's like, it's just you can't sit down and not ask the question.
That's what Chris Rebuck said. I said, hey, I want to take you to breakfast. We go to breakfast about every 6 weeks or so, just to talk. And I told him at the end of it, I said, I'll take you to breakfast. You're not going to tell me anything I don't want to know right now. I said, no. I just, we just like to visit. And he's really good about listening to me, and we just share ideas about the school and the future. And, so he knows that I care so much about, because when I went there, and my family went there, and been there for so long. So he always likes to hear from me, from people I am in contact with, whether it be alums or supporters or whatever. And so that's what I appreciate about him, that he's got an open ear all the time. So And so, but yeah, we'll just take it year by year. I'm looking forward to this year. It'll be a young group, and we graduated 6 seniors, so got some good freshmen coming in. And like I said, I love the kids that we have there. Might be a little bit of a challenge, but you always hope. And we talk about the transfer thing, and sometimes we're blessed with some great transfers, and who knows. But my thing is it's I whether people want to believe it or not, I go to the whole Field of Dreams thing. If you build it, they will come. If you build a good program, people want to be a part of that. And so I've taken some of the things I've learned from, especially other college coaches, how they built their program. I had spent a lot of time with Jody Conrad when she was at Texas about how she started and built her program. She was the late Sandra Meadows at Duncanville. She helped me a lot. And probably Gary Blair has been probably one of my closest mentors. And I talked to him. I was talking to him during the regional baseball games in A&M, and he was sitting right in the first row. You could see him right on TV. says it's good to know good people. And I said, yeah. But he's been very, very helpful to me with my career and helping me mentor, and even offices that he'll give me sometimes. But so anyway, yeah, it's I still enjoy being a part of it, and it does keep you young. And my wife will get on me. She'll say, "You're not in high school anymore." I said, I really never left. I've really been, So yeah, I may come home silly sometimes, but when you're spending your day with 15 and 16-year-old girls and get into their mentality and way of thinking, sometimes you just you learn how to go with the flow sometimes.
Coach, there's a lot of young guys walking around here today that are just starting out in TAPS. What's something, that Hall of Fame coach Andy Zihlman would say to first-year coach Andy Zihlman?
Well, first of all, I think you need to listen to people you need to listen to. And first, that would be your supervisors, your AD, and then attend conferences. Go to conferences, whether it be the TAPS conference, whatever sport you're coaching, go to those conferences and get involved. Know those coaches. Network with not just the high school coaches, but network with the college coaches too, because you never know if you might have a player that might be able to go play at a certain level. And that's why I love about going to the national or even going to AAU tournaments in the summer, is to network with those college coaches. And they reach out to me just because they know, especially the coaches out of state, about kids in the area. I remember Gino Ariama said to me, I don't get down to Texas much, but I may reach out to you if I ever see a kid and they did get Mariah Jefferson, and we played them, and she played for him. And so anyway, so I think you have to be involved. You have to immerse yourself into and learn about your sport and get better about it. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the best, greatest X and O guys, but I know how to communicate, and I know how to make them work. And I've got great assistants that are creative and that help me with our operation as far as practices and camps and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it easy why I can walk around and visit with the individuals. So the bottom line is that they have to be involved. You can't sit back and think you know it all. And even at my age, I go to conferences every year. Or now with what we have with technology, you can learn stuff, just online and stuff like that. But whatever you need to do to better yourself, and you can't just take something you think this is going to work. You got to know your personnel too, and have a relationship with your team. You got to have a relationship, and try to build that, and still hold them accountable. So, but I would say, bottom line is, come to these things and attend sessions and listen, and be able to learn from that. And I mean, in my early days, I learned so much by going to TABC. That's where a couple other guys I counted on to help me, and I think I learned most is about how to develop relationships. And you can figure out the X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, but it's about developing relationships and how to coordinate and communicate with people. And you look at different levels. I mean, imagine coaching in the NBA today. I can't imagine that. Yeah. I mean, because having to deal with the superstars, and how to manage that. And those guys have to them, there's X's and O's, but how to manage those superstars. At our level, it's a different. We might have a high school superstar. Sometimes it's how to manage them, but I think you have to learn every year. You got to pick something that you can learn. I remember I went to a conference one time with my assistants, and it was the TABC. It was and they were saying, well, we already do this, and they were kind of grumbling because they wanted to leave. I said, no, we're not leaving.
Yeah.
First of all, we paid for this. And we're going to sit. I said, there may be one thing this presenter may say at the end that we can use.
Yeah.
You just never know. It may be practice organization, it may be strategy, it may be some sort of psychology, whatever it may be. And so you don't know it all. Even the most experienced coaches don't know it all. You've got to continue learning and stay on top of what you're doing, whatever sport or whatever activity you're involved in. And I truly believe that. And the other thing is, as coaches, you got to have the right people working with you that believe in the same thing you do. And I've been blessed with that.
Well, Andy, I am looking forward to sometime this summer to put this piece, this is the art
great.
proof, in your hands.
Well, I appreciate that.
And so I want you get a chance to see this. This is from the award company we're working with,
Okay.
and like I
that's
said, I'm
beautiful.
I'm looking forward to getting up there and
I'm very
recognizing you for all that you've done for private and parochial high school athletics in the state of Texas.
Well, I appreciate that. It's been my pleasure, and again, I've enjoyed my years at BL and also being a part of TAPS, and it's just been truly a blessing to me personally, but just the success I have, somebody who didn't even play basketball that just kind of got pushed into it, and I thank the good Lord for giving me that opportunity and hopefully doing the right thing. I pray every day that make me say the right things and do the right things, not get carried away with my humor sometimes. Sometimes, excuse me. But anyway, I appreciate it, and I'm very honored.
Well, again, we've had as our guest Dallas Bishop Lynch girls basketball coach, and again, one of our inaugural 25 members of the Texas Private School Sports Hall of Fame, Andy Zihlman. Andy, thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.